It's near and dear to our heart at Auburn University, the agriculture research, and also to the state of Alabama. And one of the most appropriate uses and immediate uses that I think we're going to see in the state is through precision agriculture. It's a pleasure to be a part of this emerging technology. We've been doing aviation and aerospace education for almost 80 years, manned flight school for 75. And so it's a natural extension of what we're doing, and it ties very well in with research efforts on campus and with economic development in the state. Through the flight school, we currently have 4 that will be using our flight training program. Biosystems engineering have a number of units that they use for different types of research. And as others get involved with the research with our FAA approvals, the fleet will grow. But it's important to note that our fleet has to be registered with FAA. You may notice that these have little N numbers on them like a manned aircraft. And so what we want to be able to do is train not only our students, but the faculty in the proper use of these, and also the general public, so that when students leave our confines here at Auburn University, they are prepared for the workforce.
Auburn does some really cool things on a whole host of fronts, on the engineering front as well as the ag side, and a lot of these technologies have other applications in the Defense Department as well as the Homeland Security Department. One of the areas I have jurisdiction over in Congress is our satellites. All the Defense Department satellites are under my jurisdiction, the committee I chair. So I was familiar with low Earth orbit satellites and what they could do. These can, sometimes you got to wait for the orbit of the Earth to come around. It may be a few days or at minimum a few hours. And you can do this when you got time and when the weather's right and when you need it, and not having to wait on a few days for a satellite to be available to capture the imagery you're wanting. So it's really neat stuff.
The real advantage of UAS in agriculture is being able to collect that information quickly. As the Congressman just indicated, we don't have to wait several days for a satellite to come over or the right airplane to be tasked to come to our field. We can fly this morning and collect information, process the image, and the image, the data is really what's important. We can process that image and realize that a certain part of the field may have a nutrient deficiency or a water deficiency or a disease that's developing that we just can't see yet visibly, but the camera is able to detect that. And so by this afternoon, we could be back in the field with a fertilizer spreader, or we could turn our irrigation system on to take corrective action to fix that. And so being able to handle the data quickly and make decisions ultimately will help that producer be more profitable and be better stewards of our resources.